Hello, everybody. I am Chris Cave, the health coach, as you know, and welcome to this workshop. So, today we are talking about the 10 best ways to fit exercise into your day. Yeah, could be your busy routine, your busy day. Because, like, how often do we say, "Oh, I'm just too busy to do exercise"? It just happens all the time. I literally hear it every day, and it's so common, it's unbelievable. But often we do that with things, we put it off. So, to be fair, I've been putting off painting my kitchen for 2 years now because I keep saying, oh, yeah, I haven't got time to paint the kitchen. So it's not just exercise, but exercise is so important. So I'm not talking about doing a marathon before breakfast. If you want to do that, fair play. I wouldn't even do a marathon before breakfast. I wouldn't even paint my kitchen before breakfast. But fitting exercise into your daily routine is so important. And people don't do it for whatever reasons. And then, as we get older and your health deteriorates, and a lot of people say, oh, I wish I'd done more exercise when I was younger. But often, we're so busy these days with work and the kids and families and jobs and things. It's really difficult to fit the time in. So anyway, I get asked this question so many times, so I thought I'd do this great workshop on it, which I'm sure you'll find useful. Okay, so as I say, I'm Chris Cave, health coach, and 5 years ago, I used to be overweight, to have bad medical figures to do with BMI, body mass, body fat, visceral fat levels, cholesterol, blood pressure, all those sort of things. And I used to chase my son around the garden and be tired after a minute and have to go and have a rest, which was not good. And he used to get frustrated. So at that point, I decided to sort my life out, lose weight, get healthy. And, because I had that desire, I wanted to spend more time with my son and, be the father that he wanted me to be. And, that combination was what kick-started me to get into action. So hopefully I can help you too, because that's my mission, to help not just parents, but anybody who's just too busy these days, and health is so important. So if you think about it in life, what is the number one most important thing? Yeah, have a quick think about it. You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's your health. So a lot of people neglect their health, which is such a shame, because now, like in the UK and America, like over 2/3 of the population are overweight or obese, which is really bad news. And this has deteriorated in the last 20, 30, 40 years. So it's we need to do something about it, because at the end of the day, we all want to live longer, don't we? We want to see our kids grow up and our grandkids grow up. So that's my mission, to help people live longer. So this is a really good way to do it. Now, as I said, people say to me all the time, Chris, I've got no time for exercise. So when you actually say to them, well, what do you do then? And they come up with all sorts of things, which probably a lot of them are true, but some things are maybe not. So if you go through your day, just have about what you've actually done today or even yesterday, and think, oh, what did I spend my time doing? And if you're one of these people that says, oh, I haven't got time to exercise, just have a think about what you actually did do. So obviously, most people work, say, 7 hours a day, 7.5 hours a day. Then you've got commuting times. That could be another hour, 2 hours. Then you've got to cook your dinner. You've got to get the kids up maybe in the morning, get them dressed, get them ready, send them off to school, maybe take them to school. So all these things add up. Plus you need your sleep. Obviously you need your ideally 7 or 8 hours sleep. So we're already looking at a pretty full day already, aren't we? And you're probably thinking, wow, that's already added up to like 19, 20 hours. So, which is true. And then you've got other things to do, like you've got to do shopping. You've got to do shopping. You've got to have a shower or bath. You've got to do your hair, your makeup, you get dressed. So we're now probably up to about 21 hours out of our 24 hours. Because at the end of the day, we all have 24 hours, don't we? I have 24 hours. You have 24 hours. President of the US, he has 24 hours. The Queen, she has 24 hours. So no one has more or less, but it's just how we spend it. But often it's the mindset as to how you spend your time and what you prioritize. So as I said, hands up who's used that excuse before. I have to admit, I have. And I'm just as guilty. I haven't painted my kitchen because I put it off for 2 years. Exercise is now so important to me that I always fit it into my day. However busy or however hard my day is, I'll always try and get something in there, whether it's doing 10,000 steps or just doing a class or a bit of yoga or going to the gym or just chasing my son around the garden, playing a bit of football, just basic things like that. And, when you think, well, you've got to move, haven't you? If your body doesn't move, what happens to it? it deteriorates, doesn't it? And you get all sorts of problems with your knees and your back and your legs, and you just get tired and overweight, and it's all downward spiral, isn't it? So it's so important to fit exercise in. Not talking marathons, just talking a few basic things. So often you see lots of figures in the press that you should do 30 minutes of exercise every day. There's other ones where you should do 150 minutes of really good quality exercise a week. So that's only 2.5 hours out of your week. It's not a lot, really. So it's not actually that difficult to fit 2.5 hours into your week. I challenge you, if you really can't find 2.5, let me know and I will find it for you. Yeah, done this with my clients so many times, because often, when they actually write down on a list what they do in a day, they go, well, I did this, this, and this. There's no time there, and then I had to do that, and then I did that, and then I got to 8 o'clock, and I sat down and helped the kids with the homework, and I sat down and I had a cup of tea, and I watched 2.5 hours telly, and then I went to bed. I'm like, okay, so you watched 2.5 hours telly, and they're like, oh, no, well, maybe it was an hour. Okay, still an hour. But interesting fact. So these are quite old statistics, but like probably about 6-7 years ago, the average American and British person watched 3 hours of television every day. I mean, 3 hours is quite a lot, and that's just an average. So it could be, some people are only watching half an hour. If I have half an hour a day, I'm lucky. But if that means someone else is having 5 or 6 hours, doesn't it? So think about it, and that's like an old figure. Now I've seen statistics where the amount of hours a day people spend on social media is between 6 and 8 hours average. I mean, I'd love to do that. Well, I wouldn't actually, but if I had 6 hours spare every day. So I don't do that. I mean, I use it for work, but so if I do an hour a day, somebody else is having a hell of a lot more of my hours, aren't they? So just like think, well, how am I spending my time? So that's your challenge. Have a quick think about that, and I'll start talking about things. So as you can probably see, I'm a bit tired because I've just taught a spin class. So I'm nearly 50, and one of my hobbies is body pump and spin and yoga. So I actually teach 2 or 3 classes a week just for fun. Don't make much money out of it at all, but I just love doing it because it keeps me fit, keeps me motivated, and I just love helping people keep fit. So I was looking at my spin class earlier, and it was full tonight, which was so good. And everyone at the end came up to me and said, "Oh my God, Chris, that was the best class I've done for ages. It was amazing." And I was thinking, well, how's that different to the class I taught last week or the week before? And I've noticed some really interesting things going on in the room. So in the old days, as soon as they got past COVID and people started to come back to the gym, everyone spread out and no one talked to each other and things like that. Whereas now, people in the class are like talking to each other, they know each other's names, they're like waving, they go, "Oh, what class have you done this week?" It's got that camaraderie. And I always do like a race between half the class and the other half, and that sort of adds to it as well. And now let them request music. So today I played Bonnie Tyler for one lady, which was 6 minutes. Oh my God, we all nearly collapsed. It was so hard, but she absolutely loved it, and everyone else was like, "Oh my God, this is a really good song." So now they're all like, yeah, I love the music. So just by having good music and camaraderie and setting that time where you're going to go out for an hour in the evening, just put it in your diary, in your calendar. And those people are probably absolutely loved it. And they work so hard. Every single one of them was like a sweaty mess at the end. But the fact that they put something in the calendar, they committed to it, they booked it through the app, and they said, they went there, talked to their friends, and they had a fantastic time. So just think, they did that. And I know a lot of them have got family, they've got kids, they've got commitments, they've got busy jobs, but they still prioritize that time. So they might go home, they'll have their dinner, then they might sit down and watch telly, but they've already done that hour of exercise. And you guarantee that they will probably do more than that as well now because they got used to it. So there's one lady at the back, the first class she did, she just gave me evils the whole time. I was like, "Oh my God, what?" I said, "You okay?" And he said, "Oh, it was my first class." I was really nervous and I didn't know what was going to happen. And I was dreading it and I was really, really tired. And now she does so many because she absolutely loves it. But before, she was really scared the first time she did it. And now she loves it. So that's just an example. So I'm not telling you all to go out and do a spin class. It's just using an example of how music and camaraderie and putting it into your calendar. So these are some of my top 10 tips. So I've actually got 20 in front of me. So I'm going to choose my top 10. Okay, we've already talked about exercise class. So if you find something that you really like, doesn't have to be spin, it could be anything. Could be yoga, Zumba, Pilates, dancing, could be judo, swimming class, badminton, tennis, anything like that you've always wanted to do. And okay, the first week might be a bit scary, but once you do it, you love it, and then you're like, oh wow, that's a new hobby. It's part of my life now. So not only is it exercise, but it's also enjoyable because it's something you want to do. Most people do not want to do exercise unless there's something that clicks up here in your head, and then you go, wow, yeah. So I actually teach yoga as well, but it's not my favourite one, so I tend to not do it as often as I should because I absolutely love spin and pump. So when I do yoga, in my brain, it's like, oh, do I have to do this? But when you actually do it, you love it. So okay, so that's another good one. So accountability is so key. So accountability is brilliant. So I can actually train myself in the gym, but I still have a personal trainer, Rory, who's brilliant because he, well, if I spend an hour with him, I know we will work really hard. We've got that good camaraderie. He'll motivate me to do it, even though I could do it on my own. But I probably wouldn't spend a whole hour there. I'd rush through it in 40 minutes, and I probably wouldn't do as many weights because I've not got that accountability for someone there. So accountability. So you tell your family and your friends that you're going to do something, you're going to do your exercise, and invite them along. So as I said, those people in my spin class love the fact they've got new friends, and then they'll like say, "Oh yeah, see you tomorrow. Yeah, if you go, I'll go." Yeah. So it's so important, accountability. Okay, so next one is sort of like the same. That if you've got a friend to do it with, then you both put it in your calendar and you both commit to it and say, okay, Jane, Fred, Dan, next week, next Tuesday, we're going to go and do Chris's spin class. We'll book it now. We're not going to, unless something really bad happens, we're not cancelling it. We'll both do it and we're going to enjoy it. It's in the diary. It's done. Yeah. So when it comes, another really good tip is to diarise things and put it in your calendar. So, you put the mother-in-law's birthday in the calendar, you put the kids' commitments in the calendar, you put your work commitments in the calendar. You've got a one-to-one with your boss. You put that in your calendar, don't you? But do you put exercise into it? Probably not. Obviously, I do have to do it, otherwise I forget what I'm teaching and where. But if you book a class, then the app will remind you hopefully, and you can write it on your calendar, and it's in. Yeah. But if you write things down, you're far more likely to do it. So another issue that I come up with all the time is people say, well, I haven't got time because of my kids. So I've got this is a brilliant example. I've got a client, and she always used to say to me, I've got no time and I have to put my kids first. So I said, okay, so what do you do in the evening? Well, I sort them out and then I sit down, have a fag, have something to eat, and then just watch telly because I'm knackered. I went, okay. So if you had more energy to be with your kids, they're nagging you and you're sitting there for 2 hours because you're so tired. If you had more energy and more motivation, would they appreciate that? She went, yeah, of course. But there you go. So if you then said to them, right, I'm not being selfish, but I need my half hour or hour to do exercise to have more energy, to be more motivated, and you will get the best out of me, and I'll be that super mum or super dad. And they'll be like, I'm sure most kids will go, oh, okay, yeah, that's really good. I'm sure the kids don't mind anyway. I'm sure they'd like, one, they want you to live longer, and two, they want you to have more energy so you can spend more quality time with them. Or another good tip, take them along. If there's something like my son does archery, I go along with him. I don't actually do the archery myself, but I'd like to do it with him if they have any spaces. But the fact that I go with him and then he does things like when I'm learning a new body pump routine, he'll help me and he actually knows all the tracks inside out. So working with the kids as well can really, really help. And the same with your partner. So is another good example. So I've had a couple of clients before where they really do not want to do exercise. They're not particularly wanting to lose weight, but the doctors told them they've got to. So obviously in Britain it's different to America. So in America, often you're told you have to do it, whereas in Britain it's a bit different because they don't tell you have to do it. They suggest that you should do it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, isn't it? And if you know that if you don't lose weight, you're going to get diabetes or get a heart attack or things like that, then you'd hope that you do something about it. But then you feel like thinking, I've got to eat salad and go to the gym. Your mindset's not going to be right, is it? You're not going to want to do it. You're going to hate it. So you're gonna like look at that salad and go, oh, it's disgusting, and you end up having a burger later, or you're gonna look in the gym and go, oh no, I'll just say I've been to the gym, tell my doctor, huh? So that mindset's never going to work. But if you find a fun way to do it, you're far more likely to do it, aren't you? Okay, right. Need some water now. Okay, so we're getting through these tips really quick, aren't we? Having a plan. So we've already said, right, I'm going to put it in my calendar. Yeah, so it's on the wall or it's in your phone, it's on the app. Now, how many times do you then get home from work and you go, oh no, look, I was supposed to go for a brisk walk with my friend, or I was supposed to go to the gym now. Oh, and it's raining. Oh, I can't find my trainers. Oh, and make an excuse up. Yeah, I see it all the time. But prep, prep, prep. Remember those 3 words: prep, prep, prep. If you then, like the day before, think, right, I've got to go to the gym tomorrow night, or I'm going for a walk with my friend, or I'm going to go for a little jog, and you know that you're probably not going to do it. Get everything ready, put it by the front door so it's ready. So you put your trainers out there or whatever you're going to be wearing. You get your kits, your shorts, your t-shirt, whatever you wear, ready on the end of the bed or by the front door. You've got some music to listen to if you're going on your own. You've got a plan of where you're going or what you're actually doing. You've got whatever equipment you need. Have it all done and out. If it's going to gym, make sure you got your pass there ready. Just prepare everything. Bottle of water, key thing like that. Towel, and bingo. I guarantee you're far more likely to do it than if you like rush home from work. Oh my god, I can't find anything. Oh, where's my trainers gone? Where's my t-shirt gone? Whereas if you do it the night before, I guarantee you're more likely to do it. Okay. So another tip is have a backup plan. Okay. So at the moment it's dark and it's pretty cold and nasty outside. But other days it could be raining or really, really cold. And then you like get home and think, oh, I'm not going out because it's cold and wet. And then you sit down and you fester in front of the telly, don't you? You have a backup plan and think, well, actually, I can't do that, but instead, I've booked that time off in my calendar. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to go for a swim down the local pool, or I'm going to go and do something indoors rather than outdoors. And in that way, far more likely to do it than, again, just think, oh, it's raining, I'm going to stay in. So I hope you're writing all this down. I don't know how many we've got up to now, but we're going through this really, 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 really quickly. So those of you that work in an office, you probably, I've done workshops before and I've said people that work in offices say they've had a really tiring day. So they get home from work, sit in front of the telly, go, oh, so tired from work today. And you say to them, well, did you run to walk? Did you walk? Did you run to work or walk to work or cycle? Or, well, no, I went in my car. Like, okay, did you have to do a lot of walking around and running around at work? No, I just sat there all day, but I'm really tired. And then even they were like thinking, actually, why am I so tired when I haven't done anything all day? Literally just sat down and worked. Because often if we don't do any movement, we don't do anything like that, you get like brain fog and you're not moving. So your body is going to be tired. And yeah, you might have had a stressful day, but if you'd have just done a bit of movement, a bit of exercise, you feel so much better because you're getting that nice happy hormones. Because when you move and your body does like activity or movement, you have different like hormones and things, and you feel so much better, don't you? So a lot of people again say, well, if I go to work, how am I supposed to do exercise, Chris? And I go, haha. Okay, so people that go on a train or the bus, you could get off and stop earlier, or walk from the station, walk from your house to the station rather than driving. When you are at work, you can instead of using the lift all the time, use the stairs. Yeah, just think how good that is to go and running it on down the stairs because you'll be out of breath then, rather than using the lift. And just think, oh, moving, slightly out of breath, which is always good for you. And then, you've done a bit of exercise, haven't you? And every hour or so, if you just look at your screen for an hour, you'll feel rubbish. But if you have 5 minutes each hour, you'd get up, do stretch, walk to get some water from the kitchen, or go to the loo and just just do a few squats, just a few squats like that, or just when you're at the photocopier, just do a little tricep dip or something, just crazy things like that. And people might look at you and go, what the hell's he doing? But they actually think, well, actually, he's moving around, and then you've got more energy than they have. So there you go. So being at work doesn't have to be a problem. If you get a hour lunch break, it might not be easy to get to the gym if you only got an hour or so, but you can easily go for a walk. Where I used to work in office, there's canals nearby. There's some nice parks, so you could, if you've got an hour or so, you could take your lunch, go for a walk, take a friend, and have a chat whilst moving. And again, there you go. And you'll feel so much better when you get back and everyone go, where have you been? I've just been for a walk. Oh, wow, I wish, oh, let me know next time. And then you could get 4, 5, 6 people going. And then you're having a good chat, good hormones, and everyone's moving around. Okay, to get my breath back, have some water. Right, next one. This is a good one. The dreaded Netflix effect. Okay, so how many people of you have got Netflix? And I've never come across this, but apparently, if you're on it for a long enough period, it says, "Are you still watching it? Still watching it because it's been on so long?" And if that has happened to you, it's never happened to me. If it has, then that is a wake-up call. That is a warning to say, "I'm watching too much Netflix." So obviously, Netflix helped a lot of people during COVID lockdown. But like now, people are still watching far more telly than they used to because they got used to it during lockdown, and they're not exercising as much. And people say, "Oh, but Netflix is so good," and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, so if you have to watch that one program a night, watch that 1 hour. But if you then watch your program for an hour and then like just sit there and you watch another hour and then another hour and then you go, "Oh, better go to bed." And you've watched 3 hours, but you're only meant to watch 1 hour. And the second and third hours weren't even programs you really wanted to watch, but you just did it. If you have to watch an hour, then you can do exercise at your sofa. People don't believe me, but I've got all my clients pretty much to do something while they're watching Netflix or telly, because they're actually like, oh, well, actually, if I deserve this hour's Netflix, I'm going to do exercise at the same time. And it could be something really simple. Like, okay, so some good examples of these. I mean, I've done videos on these before, but just something simple like just doing a tricep dip on the sofa. So you put your hands to your side and just lower your body down and up. I'm actually doing this standing up. I mean, I work standing up most of the time, and telly's over there. But if you're watching something on telly, how difficult is it just to do a few squats like that? Yeah. So you strengthen your legs, you're moving, you strengthen your back, strengthen your core, and you're moving. If you're doing quick enough, you'll start to get out of breath as well. And that doesn't cost any money. And you can do that while watching telly, and it doesn't distract you from watching telly. Still watch the same thing, because that wasn't noisy, was it? Exactly. Another good one is just having a few like weights, or if you haven't got some weights, some like can of something. I haven't got my pop here, so I use this candle. So if you've just got something slightly heavy, you can just like do some bicep curls like that. Just do that for like 10 minutes. Just go heavier and heavier, and then you're going to get stronger arms, stronger core, and then you your breathing's like heavier, and you like working your body. It's not that difficult. It's not affecting watching the telly. Just do some movement. Yeah, these are all really basic things. You probably know all these already, but the fact that you're watching this program, this workshop, means that you actually want to do something about it. Okay, so there you go. Now, when you are sitting down in front of the telly and you're relaxing and things like that, doesn't mean that you can just like sit there and snack on crisps and cakes and donuts. If you are going to do that again, if you're going to insist on watching an hour's telly, then drink water. Like water's like really really good for you. Have some fruit, some little carrot bands, something simple like that, so that if you are, if you want to be watching that for an hour, it's so much better to eat or drink something healthy than sitting in front of the telly eating crisps and things like that, because our brains sometimes just say, oh, because I'm relaxing, it means I'm going to eat something unhealthy. Whereas if you're doing something like exercise whilst watching the telly, you're far more likely to eat something healthy, aren't you? Because your brain's in, hey, look at me, I'm in exercise mode. Okay, on to the next one. So imagine yourself as a superhero. So imagine yourself now and imagine who you want to be if you could do more exercise. And it could be Superman, Wonder Woman. I'm trying to think of some other names now. But, there's so many different ones you could be. And then just think, wow, if I'm going to do exercise, that is my alter ego superhero. Yeah, so you probably think, Chris, what on earth are you talking about? So as I said, I'm nearly 50, but when I get my son from school, sometimes we'll play football in the park next to school. If we're killing a bit of time, and he absolutely loves doing that. And then all his friends go, "Oh, Thomas, can we play with you as well?" And they all go, "Oh, I wish my mum and dad would play football with me or play with me after school." And because for whatever reasons they choose not to, the kids absolutely love it, and they just get a bit competitive. And I sometimes I have like 5, 10-year-olds against me, which is a bit unfair. But my superhero name actually came from them. So they started calling me Sonic because Thomas said, Daddy, do you know that my friends call you Sonic? And I went, no, who's Sonic? And it's like Sonic the Hedgehog, which is the cartoon, but it's like a superhero as well, I believe. And he said, oh yeah, because you're really old. Thanks for that. But you're really old, but you're faster than all of them. And you're thinking, well, 10-year-old should be faster than a nearly 50-year-old. But it's just because like in their mind they're like, wow, this old dude is running faster than us. So they call me Sonic. They don't know my name; they just call me Sonic, which is bizarre. But also, I mean, when I first started getting really fit, my nickname I used to be the Duracell Bunny because I used to go from no energy, absolutely like lying on the sofa, my son bouncing on my stomach, I think it was hilarious, to suddenly having all this energy. And I was like, wow. So then the Duracell Bunny came from it. And then, we go into the gym loads, used to do salsa dancing, or go walking, and did a mud run. And it's like, wow, where did this all come from? And it's all mindset and gaining extra energy. And then I was like, wow, I actually love this exercise malarkey. So there you go. It can be done. And, just imagine yourself as a superhero. And if that doesn't work, then when you like looking at exercise, thinking, doing the why under the why, if you know that phrase, why am I doing this? Why am I putting exercise into my routine? And then just think, is it because I want to live longer? Is it because I want to see my kids grow up and their grandkids their kids grow up? And just have a think about it. It's like, what do I want out of my life? Like when I'm 60, do I still want to be moving around, keeping active? Or do I just want to be sitting in a pub, overweight, eating unhealthy foods, getting diabetes, unfortunately dying early? Or do I want to be living a healthy life and living a long time? So I'm quite lucky in my family in that most people in my family live to like 90s or even 100 because they've all traditionally kept quite active. My parents are nearly, like late 70s and they go to the gym most day, they go swimming. Dad used to play hockey. So it's always been there, and they go walking a lot in the hills and mountains. And it's like, wow, that's really impressive because their next door neighbours are the same age, they don't do anything at all, and they have a lot of illnesses or things that because they can't move around a lot as much because they don't do anything. And it's so important to like avoid these things like osteoporosis as you get older and brittle bones, and just by keeping active now is an investment in our future. So if you just think about it, even if you don't like doing the exercise, you don't listen to any of the tips I've said, if you put in half an hour a day now, think of that as an investment for 20 years' time. Do you want to be a couch potato in 20 years' time with loads of illnesses and your body starting to deteriorate? Or do you still want to be active? So just have a think about that. And, there's a term in economics, I think it's called the opportunity cost or something. But it's like, so half an hour investment now is so much worth it if you extend your life for another 5, 10 years, or you have a healthier life as you're older. So, and then when you think about that, you think, well, actually, I could actually enjoy this half hour or this extra hour a day. And there you go. And then it's like, wow, it's actually enjoyable, isn't it? Yeah. Do I really want to spend 3 hours on Netflix tonight, or I'm just going to do 1 hour Netflix and then I'm going to go swimming, or I'm going to see my friends and we'll play badminton together or tennis and things like that. And it's like, wow, you're doing killing two birds with one stone. Okay, quick water. You have some as well. I hope you're writing notes on all this. Okay, so can you do anything else in your day in order to put exercise in? So it could be something basic. So there's the 10,000 steps that people are obsessed with. You go, oh, I've got to do my 10,000 steps. 10,000 steps, there's no sort of scientific background as to where that came from. Someone just picked it out of a hat years ago, and now everyone thinks that doing 10,000 steps a day is being fit, which it is. It's good. It's better than doing 2,000 steps. But 10,000 is actually quite easy to do. You can actually get more in every day. Like if you have to work from home because of COVID or whatever, you're probably not going to get your 10,000 steps in unless you go out and actually do some exercise. But just do basic things like running up and down the stairs every hour or so, or doing some squats, or walking around like I'm standing at a desk rather than sitting down working. I mean, how many times have I moved since I've been talking to you? Hopefully you're not dizzy. It's just about putting those extra bits into your day. And it's so important. I've been rabbiting on there for half an hour, and moving around at the same time, and I'm more energized, than if I just sat down and went, hello, today we're talking about fitting exercise into your routine. See, it's not the same effect, is it? So because I've been moving around, I've got far more energy, and drinking water rather than something like Coke or anything like that has given me energy as well. Okay, so we must have covered far more than 10. So hopefully you've found this enjoyable, and well done for showing up. Well done for watching this workshop, because it means that you are committed to doing exercise and you want to learn how to do it, or add it onto your day. So what you're going to do next, go have the mindset. So when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to think, right, I'm going to jump out of bed in the morning and I'm going to get more fit and active. You don't have to do a marathon before breakfast. Just think, how am I going to get 15,000 steps in today? Or how am I going to put half an hour exercise in? Or maybe even an hour exercise. And it's going to be something I enjoy. If you find something that you really, really enjoy, far more likely to do it, aren't you? And don't use that excuse anymore, you haven't got time. Because if you do, I'll be listening for it and I'll come and tell you off. No, seriously, if you need help finding time in your day, trust me, I can find it. Every client who said that to me, I found a way for them to do it. I've had one client who said, I haven't got time. And we went up from half an hour to an hour, and he has actively gone up to 2 hours a day extra. So he gets up earlier, he's got a brilliant morning routine now. He does a walk at lunchtime, and he's put so many things into there. It's far more than I told him to do, which is fantastic. And he's got so much more energy now than he did before, and he's lost loads of weight, and it's really good. And his family are behind him, because he was worried that the family would be like, well, no, because I want you to do this, or help me with my homework, or do this or this. And actually they're like, wow, look at Super Dad. So there you go. It could be a new superhero. So there you go. So what you're going to do about it now, write a list, look at your calendar of what you've done like yesterday and today, where you could have fitted the exercise in, and then calendarize or diarize what you're going to do in the next week. By putting in a calendar, you're far more likely to do it, aren't you? Tell people what you're doing. Say, like, if I don't do half an hour exercise a day, 1 hour, whatever you can do, then tell me off, or don't let me eat this, or don't let me do that. And I see it as a challenge, and get the family involved. Maybe have a chart on the fridge door as to like who's done half an hour or an hour's exercise a day. Make it more fun, and you're far more likely to do it, aren't you? Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this, and if you want a copy of my top 10 ways to fit energy into your day, let me know. I might even let you have the 20 list as well. I'm so kind to you. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll speak to you again soon, and try and put these into your routine. However busy you are, we all have 24 hours a day. Okay, speak to you.